All right. So who do you have going down to the championship?
I have Luton, who just came up.
Right.
Sucks for them.
Sucks.
For them. But I'm sure that they'll probably be a potential like the new Norwich, where they go up and down.
Yeah.
Use that money to fund a more sustainable team.
Exactly.
I think
Watford, Norwich,
exactly.
those type of teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do think Luton will be probably at the lowest. They'll be battling with Sheffield for those 19-20 positions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so sorry to say this, but in 18th, I do think that Wolves will be going down, and that's simply because of the lack of investment from ownership for transfers.
Fosun.
And to lose your manager days before the season starts, it just never bodes well for teams that are looking to have remotely successful seasons.
Right.
Even if you had ambitions of being like a top 10, top 15 team, doing what was done is just... It's a recipe for a disaster, and it sucks because there are still some decent players on that team, right? Like Mateus Nunes is like the first name that really comes to my mind.
Yeah, Neto, a year removed from his injury, hopefully he picks it up.
Yeah, but there's not enough around the team, and it doesn't look like there's going to be anybody that's going to be coming in these last 2 weeks. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's part of the reason Lopetegui left.
Yeah, and he's a good manager too.
Yeah,
he's a good manager. It's really sad to see because I do think Molyneux when it's rocking, it's one of the more fun places to be watching a game, and they have such a great environment, and the team is really, the fans have really come and have really started to have a new love for the team after having a consistent run in the Premier League. But I unfortunately think that their time has come, and it sucks because they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah. We were one of the teams that could actually give a run to the Big Six during these last few years.
Absolutely.
Maybe not last year, but like the years before.
Yeah, in years past, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Just obviously, I'm not gonna put my Wolves in the bottom three.
Totally, yeah.
But I do have Luton Town. I do have Burnley, and I wanted to say Everton, just because they've been kind of close the last few years, but I just can't put them.
Yeah.
Because they're like such a historic team. You feel like some way or another, like
they'd be the biggest team to ever go down. If they go down.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Last year they saved themselves like by the nick of their hair. I don't want to say Nottingham Forest either because I think they're kind of cool too, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Nottingham Forest to be honest.
Okay.
Like last year they saved themselves like pretty at the end too, right? They had
they're at the bottom,
yeah, and they spent money too, so
a lot of money.
They gave us some money for Morgan Gibbs-White,
good player.
Yeah, good player, but I mean, like I said, I wanted to put Everton, but it's such a big team. Like
absolutely,
I can't see it, dude. I can't see it. Like I gotta see it. I gotta see it to believe it. Because it's such a historic team, and like you always think Everton and Liverpool are gonna have like that's a staple in the calendar.
Yeah,
that's one of the things.
Derby, yeah,
Merseyside Derby. So I just can't put them there. But Luton Town, unfortunately. Cool team. Good to see them come up to the Premier League.
Definitely,
it probably motivates a lot of teams in the lower divisions.
Absolutely,
to think that they could do it too.
They rose up the ranks, right?
Exactly, but I do think Burnley, Luton, and Nottingham Forest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I actually feel super strongly that Burnley are going to stay up.
Really?
I'm really like especially because I had watched them in the championship last year.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like Vincent Kompany's,
they ran through it, didn't they?
They won it with like a lot of time left.
Yeah.
With weeks left in this season. But I'm just saying, like this new Burnley is not the Burnley of old. It's not these guys that are just gonna pin you back and rough you up, and it's gonna be a tough place to. It's gonna be a tough place to play for other reasons. I'm telling you, watching against Man City, I was blown away that we saw like 1-2s, crazy movement on and off the ball. I think they're actually gonna be. They're one of my teams to really look out for to be a surprise like team for the season. Yeah, I think. Time will obviously tell. They've spent a lot of money also. In smaller portions. 15, 17.
Yeah, they have like 5 or 6 new starting. Yeah, they're starting 11.
Yeah. But we'll see. But I do think that's going to be. They're one of my teams that are going to be surprising, and I think the other team that is going to be.
Who do you have?
No. I have positively. I have Burnley. Right.
Okay.
Negatively, I have 2 teams, and I think it's going to be Crystal Palace, and I think it's going to be West Ham. And
West Ham,
West Ham. I mean, losing Declan Rice is big, but just the nobody really coming in afterwards is like a big issue for me. Again, there's 2 weeks left. This can completely change.
Yeah,
but I just think that there's so much that was lacking there, and they struggled so much in the Premier League season, and people say it was because they were so focused on the Europa Conference League, which big up to them. It's a European tournament. They won it, but they were horrible in the league last season. They were for stretches, fighting relegation.
Yeah,
and losing Declan Rice is not going to help that. They don't really have a lot of great attacking players going forward.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I think those two teams are going to have a difficult year with just some of the departures that they've had.
Yeah, the funny thing about last year is that there was so many teams fighting for relegation. Like it was a cluster for the first it went to not to March or something that it starts to clear up, because I know at the end of the standing Wolves ended up 13th, I think.
Yeah,
but bro, we were 18th and 17th and 16th for a lot of the season. That's why we had to get Lopetegui, and he saved it. But I think you got to take it with a grain of salt, all the teams that were competing for relegation too, because there was just so many teams.
Yeah,
you could say Wolves ended up in 13th or 12th, and even the team above them, they were fighting for relegation too. And you don't usually see 8 teams fighting for relegation.
It was crazy.
But yeah, I see what you mean. Circling back to Burnley, I think part of the reason that I'm not rating them so high, it could be a little biased, I do agree, is the teams that have done the best in recent years coming out of the championship have been Leeds, Wolves when they came out, and now Burnley are probably getting the most hype coming out of the championship.
Yeah,
and it bugged me when Leeds United came out and people were calling them the best team to come out, and I was like, bro, the Wolves literally came out 2 years before you guys, had more points, did better against the top 6, and they're not getting no love. Come on.
They finished 8th. They finished 8th one season.
Yeah. The first year back. Yeah. So I was like, nah. So right now, Burnley, I gotta see it.
Yeah,
I gotta see it.
Totally,
I gotta see
totally.
it first. I gotta see it first.
Yeah, totally. I think for me, the reason why I say it is because it's Burnley, right? And you don't expect Burnley to just be playing attacking football.
Because it's Burnley.
Yeah, bro. So it's just I think that's why it's gonna be just so surprising. It's just this club that is notorious with playing an ugly style and really grinding out results is going to be a team that are going to be playing free-flowing football. And it's going to be I say it more, not so much in the respect that they're going to be a team that's fighting for 8th, 9th, or 10th, which, I mean, they potentially could. More in the sense that, you're going to watch Burnley, you're going to be what happened to Burnley? This looks like a completely different team. Yeah. Which is, it's going to be an interesting watch throughout the season.
No, I hear you. But also, that attacking mentality, that attacking flow, it could bite you if you just think you're gonna be able to run the same strategy once you go to the big leagues.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason Leeds are not here anymore. Because they were running up and down the field. They were trying to take the game to every single team that they were playing against. They were trying to. It didn't matter if it was City or if it was prime Liverpool coming up to Leeds. They were like, we're gonna send our fullbacks up. We're gonna send everybody up. We're not gonna play how smaller teams are supposed to play against bigger teams. We're gonna take it to you, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was fun while it lasted.
When it was working, it was fun. You would tune in to see Leeds against any team because you were Leeds is not gonna back down. This is and if you're looking at it from an opposing team that's that from if you're a fan of a team that's regarded in the same level as Leeds, and you see your team not proposing the game, and then you see Leeds and you're like, man, I wish my team did that. I wish my team did that. Yeah. But that could be Crystal Palace is staying more years in the league. That could be another team just steadying the ship and being a consistent team in the Premier League, whereas Leeds, they kind of flamed out. It worked. It worked when it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't think that their style of play was sustainable. They just ran so much, and they just didn't have the same funding as some of the larger teams to have a deep enough squad, which ultimately ended up being their demise, right? And then that's why they fired their previous manager, and then they fired Jesse Marsh after a couple months. It's just there's a lack of sustainability in that style of play.
Who was it? Bielsa?
Yeah, Marcelo Bielsa. Yeah. I mean, he's a coach over at Uruguay now.
Yeah. So I see Burnley. I appreciate how they play.
Yeah.
But dude, if they're gonna take it up against all hey, it's definitely it's a big step in competition.
Sure.
You're going from the championship, which is regarded as probably with the strongest second division, but you're going into the Premier League where teams just have crazy rosters.
Yeah,
and crazy.
Definitely. It's a completely jump in quality. It's a complete jump in quality.
It's crazy.
For sure. No,
I
think I totally agree
do
with
appreciate the way they play, though.
Yeah.
I hate seeing teams just never,
never try to take it to them.
Exactly.